The world's smallest off-road wrecker has, right now, it has 3 winches on it, and they all have synthetic line. But they're new, we haven't used them yet. And synthetic line, you don't want to just use it right out of the box. You need to pull it all the way out and spool it all the way in under pressure, under a load. That way it stretches the line out and gets nice tight wraps. Otherwise, when you start to pull on it, it kind of smashes the wraps that are underneath it and squeezes in between them, and it ruins the line. So what we're going to do, we're going to hook the winch lines up to the 8-1 right there, pull them all the way out. We'll do them one at a time, and then pull it just dead in neutral all the way so it has pressure. Bum's all wet because I was hosing this out because the pigeons started sitting on it and pooping all over everything. You never want to go all the way out to like the last wrap, just the majority of the way. So we'll spool it out most of the way down to about the last 3 or 4 wraps and pull it in. That way it doesn't pull the winch line off of the spool. A lot of these have, you can see the different color. They put the last 6 feet, 5 or 6 feet something in red, so you know you need to stop and not go any farther than that. So we'll go to here and lock it in. Now I'm going to drive this forward until it's all the way tight, and then I'll start winching in. So I'm going to guide it to make sure it wraps up evenly. So here you can kind of see the difference where it was pulling really hard. It's really tight, and then here it wasn't pulling as hard, and you can see easily that it's not as tight. It's still as tight as it needs to be, but the more consistent load, the better. This is going over bumps and little hills and stuff. I don't have anybody in it holding the brakes, but it's still going to be way better than just using it without any load. Supposed to stay back there, truck. Maybe I'll put it in reverse where it's on this flat stuff and rolling too easily. It set the park brake a little bit, but it doesn't work in this. There's cables got ripped out. Reverse might be a little bit too much because this is a pretty strong truck, but we'll see. If we need to, we could put it in park and allow the Samurai to pull, just hold the brakes. Okay, I'm going to go out a little bit. Not being 4-wheel drive. Nope. Because the front's sliding, but the rears aren't. Yeah, that's got some tension on it. That's what we want. That's looking much better, a lot more consistent. Squeezing the water right out of it. That's looking really good. I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera off, finish this up, and then we'll turn it back on to do the next one. Actually, I guess we're almost here, so I'll just let this finish, and then we'll move to the boom winch, which it's not as strong of a winch, so it won't take nearly as much pressure. If the winch is 90 degrees, like straight with the winch line, it'll move across the spool more evenly and easier, and you don't have to guide it as much. All right, not really going to be pulling any shorter than that, so we'll go ahead and unhook. Brock, you want to put the truck in? Well, just hold the brakes. Yeah, just hold the brakes, because it's in reverse right now. Okay, I'll unhook this. Yank 'em ropes. Best there is. Wow, you guys are close. Hold on. You want your own yank 'em ropes and soft shackles, you can get a hold of Alan at Yank 'em Ropes, or you can go to our website and put in BOR10 is our code for 10% off. Might even be a link in the bottom of this video. And free spool. Oh man, that's one thing that we don't like about this winch. I don't know if it's all Harbor Freight Badland winches or if it's just these smaller ones, but man, they are hard to pull. It's a two-person job. Goodness, I think I'm just gonna power it out all the way, because that's a lot to pull. You can see this is why we're doing this. We used this without tensioning the rope. Look how it's smashed in there. Really tore up the rope. It really crushed it. That's why you need to tension them like this under pressure, so that doesn't happen. It's gonna take a minute. Down to the last few rows there. Looks like the perfect length. Guess just right. Brock stopped it at just the right spot. So we'll go hook this one up. Yank 'em rope, soft shackle. Thank you, Alan. Now on this one, it has the big fair lead, but then it has the small one. That way it's gonna kind of regulate where it's going on its own, because it's always gonna go from here. So that should, just a little more brake. There we go, that's good. I like it. It's working the way I wanted it to. Look how cool that thing is. What a good looking operator. A little more brakes, just enough where you can hear that winch motor kind of slow down but not struggle too hard. This is boring enough. I'm sure Steve is going to speed all this up so you guys don't have to sit and watch or click off to the next video. His front tire's coming off the ground. That's awesome. Okay, I'll go ahead and unhook this. Then we'll flip around to the front. Even these Beaver 8,000 and 10,000 pound winches are a lot easier to spool out than that 55 Badlands Harbor Freight one. These Beaver winches have corded and cordless. That's a little bit different design. It's nice that they have the cordless option, but if the battery goes dead, you can plug it back in. I know it's a little bit boring, but it's important to do this so you don't ruin your synthetic winch line. It'll last way longer. And so far, we haven't used these Beaver winches a lot, but they seem to work pretty decent. I mean, they're not the same quality as a Warren or a Smittybilt, but they are significantly less expensive and they seem to do a pretty decent job. We'll see how long they last. This little Samurai also has a small alternator and a small battery, so long winching is definitely going to drain it. I'm planning on upgrading the battery, maybe doing dual batteries, and then probably doing dual batteries, and then putting the a heavier duty Chevy one-wire alternator on it. It's a nice conversion they do, but I'm thinking about possibly doing an electric over hydraulic power steering pump. That way the power steering pump's not being run off the motor. It doesn't take as much power away from the motor, because these things don't have much to start with. They're like, I don't know, 60 horsepower, 55, something like that. So they can use all the help they can get. Looking good though. We'll have to let it run for a little bit to pick the battery back up a little bit. It'll be way better with the second battery. Motor's a little bit warm. That was a long continuous pull, so not bad. It's not hot at all, just a bit warm. So these winches, look at that, nice and hard, pulled in nice and tight like they should be. I'll get these put back in here. I'm going to put a box back here, right in here, to be able to put those winch remotes and some Yankum ropes. That way they're just stored on it. They have a place out of the weather. They're not just out in the open so somebody can walk off with them. But that's, everything's all spooled up, is ready to use. So hopefully we will see it on a recovery soon. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.